What was your slogan at Quality?
Friendly people, friendly prices.
There you go. It makes you warm and fuzzy today, I bet. And give me your best produce story.
Produce story.
I mean, like it didn't come on time, it was bad, something that really threw you off, or that maybe the readings may have called you on the carpet and said, what's this all about?
Well, I never really worked in the produce department.
All right, make it up then, make up something else. Give me a funny incident, Randy.
I try to stay out of trouble most of the time, so I really don't have too many stories to share about things. We had some interesting years. You might remember, when opening the new store at the Chautauqua Mall in 1970. That was a real big deal with a conveyor belt out front that was constantly a problem with somebody not getting the groceries they were supposed to have. The thing that I remember the most, if those of you remember the little Quality Markets, it was on Prendergast Avenue that is now Gear Done.
Yes.
That's where I started in 1969 and was just a stock boy. And the first of the month, obviously the welfare checks came out, and there was quite a population that arrived at that point in time. And it's interesting how many of them wanted to steal. And that was probably the most interesting time with the number of people that tried to shoplift and the different situations that came up. I remember one day Dale Lundberg, you might know Dana Lundberg, Dale and Carolyn's son, who's a local attorney here. Dale was the store manager, and we had caught a young man that had taken a steak and put it down his pants. And I don't think we put that one back on the shelf. Anyways, we had him inside the store, and I was standing by the door, and Dale went over to call the police, and the kid made a bolt for it. And you don't know why, but at 19, 20 years old, I grabbed for him and grabbed onto his coat, and the next thing I know, we were rolling down the sidewalk. Dale's on the phone, looks down, and there's me rolling down the sidewalk with this guy, and there was quite a few stories like that over time. It was just surprising how people would, how hard they would try to steal a can of tuna fish, but not too interesting a story, I guess. Quality Markets was a great place to work. As I say, I tried to stay out of trouble and not get in trouble too much. So anything else you want to ask me that's more exciting than this?
How about your racing career?
Well, that's a piece probably you don't know is my grandfather was the chief mechanic for the Chautauqua County Highway Department back during the 50s and 60s. And he had a beautiful garage. We lived a mile from their home, and he spent a lot of time teaching us about automobiles and fixing vehicles. And so we got really interested in cars and tractors and trucks and State Line Speedway. We lived 5 miles from State Line. The first thing you know, we were going to State Line as kids. Well, we never really outgrew that. I had an opportunity when I was with Quality to actually sponsor a stock car at State Line for about 7 or 8 years. And probably one of the highlights for me when I think about the dirt track racing is my son Adam. When Adam got to be 15, 16 years old, we managed to hook up with one of the late model drivers by the name of Rod Malloy, and Adam and I did a little pit crew work for 3 or 4 years. And it was just a great experience for a father to be able to share something that I've always enjoyed, and that my son was starting to obviously enjoy too, and a teenage boy that got to change tires and gas up a car, and we won some races, and that was probably the fun part. And I still enjoy that till today. I don't hang out there as much as I used to, and still watch that NASCAR stuff on Sundays, but that race car, that stock car piece is very much my number one sport.
Terrific, Randy. Thank you.